DC Nation! Hey, it's a Tutorial Tuesday. Now, this one is a new thing I'm going to be doing. It's how to use historical conquest beyond the game. Now, this is really cool because these are actually set up in a timeline fashion. So I know that the Romans happened around this area right here. So this all happened, and the way I have it set up is, you can't see these cards, but these are my European cards. So in Europe, we have all the Roman era happening right here. As you move farther, you get into the Spanish conquistadors, which actually happened, look at that, just a tiny bit before the Crusaders. Now, they started around, from what here it says, 221 BC to 906 AD. So, keep going, and right here, you have the Crusades, not just in Europe, but also in Asia. So the way I have it set up is these countries right here. You have North America, you have Europe, Asia, South America, Africa, and South Pacific. Now, funny enough, when it comes to this layout, as you can see, there's a huge empty spot down here on those three countries. So as historical conquest, we need to fix that. I'm going to be bringing in some more from South America, Africa, and South Pacific. But as you know from history, a lot of us focus on the European history, maybe a little bit of Asian history. But look over here, right here. This is all American history. So out of this huge timeline of all these things happening, this is where the United States actually stands. And I don't know if you can see this, but I'm going to move it a little bit over so you can actually see all these cards. Look at that. So this is just one deck, but all these cards right here are all the American history. I mean, interesting enough, so you have Native Americans coming into when the country was established. You have the Revolutionary War, and as you go farther this way, you get into the explorers, the explorer of the West. Right here, you're still in the Revolutionary War time. Keep going. You have innovators starting to take power as you go. Again, keeping going. You have the Wild West starting up. You have, actually right here, you can't see it, but there's a whole bunch of abolitionists and different activists, women's activists, African-American activists. And so they are established basically right in this area. This is actually the area where Hiram Rhodes Revels became U.S. Senator the first time, right after the Civil War. So you got Civil War a little bit over here. Hiram Rhodes Revels became the U.S. Senator when a lot of the abolitionist movement started. Then you go more into the Industrial Revolution. And interesting enough, segregation, even though you have the abolitionists here, those that were trying to stop slavery and free the, give the rights of the ability to vote to the African Americans, you come into this area and it's all about the Industrial Revolution. Segregation is way over here. It's not even until way into the U.S. history. But at the same time, the Industrial Revolution, people, check this out. So you have everyone from Thomas Edison, J.P. Morgan, you see you have some authors in here, Samuel L. Clemens, Andrew Carnegie, there you go, another North American / Central America, Pancho Villa. You have things like the sinking of the Titanic. Now, it's in the American history, but just because it's actually European and American, because it was actually traveling from Europe to the United States, it sank in that time. So around 1912. San Francisco earthquake, 1906. The guy that invented the Zeppelin, actually, he should be in, look at that, I'm wrong there, he should actually be in the European history, but he was around, he lived until 1917. You have another artist, Booker T. Washington, who's around that time. Lewis Latimer, great history, you gotta read up on this guy. and George Westinghouse. So the Industrial Revolution, the business guys, the biggest business magistrates, business moguls, the big guys in business, George Westinghouse, J.P. Morgan, Andrew Carnegie, these were guys that were financing a lot of the Industrial Revolution. But that all happens, boom, right there, in that area. Move a little further, you get more into when segregation starts, but also you have like Benjamin Banneker. He's the one that mapped out all of DC. So he's got a great story, another one you have to read that people don't really talk about much. You also have everything from the Second World War, including Eric Liddell. Now he was interesting because actually you got to read about him. He died of a brain tumor in a Japanese internment camp during World War II, but he was an Olympian in 1924. Another really great story going into the World War II era. And then as you go more here, you get into more modern day warfare, Nicaragua Contras down in Nicaragua. You have the Vietnam War, but you still have space exploration, the Cold War, and things like that. So if I was to do this timeline, or have my kids do this timeline, what I would do is I would end up mapping out like this, and then I could take up this section of cards, and this again, one deck and you get all of this. This section of cards right here, you can actually take out, move all the other cards out, and place them out so you can have a better understanding. So this little space, I can justify Europe being so long and everything, because you have more history here, but when you have such a short period of time, you want to be able to take that and just spread it out. Now what would happen if you opened up all 6 decks? Open up all 6 decks, you're going to have a lot of American history. American Revolution, the Civil War, all these different eras, the expansion packs. This is what you get right here. Open all the decks, and this is what you get. And you actually get some more down here as well. We just don't have them in this one deck. So I wanted to show you one more way of making Historical Conquest meaningful, especially in a curriculum sense. So this is the Tutorial Tuesday. We're going to give you a little bit more when it comes to whatever Wednesday. Actually, come Thursday, we're going to talk about replacing some of your other games with games of value. Not just Historical Conquest, though. That's the thing that we like. But if you're learning geography, if you're learning other subjects, this is just a great one for history, and we've got other ones. But this is basically how we would map out, use Historical Conquest to create additional games and be able to use it for further learning. And if you don't know where a person should be, that's fine. Go look it up. Read their history. All of these people have a fascinating history, and I think you really enjoy it. So again, this is Tutorial Tuesday. If you have any comments or questions, add them to the comments below. Otherwise, we'll see you tomorrow actually. Take care. Bye.